Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
All right, Ryan, what the hell are you wearing, dude?
Dude, flamingos. It's my flamingo golf shirt. So,
there is no so. What are you wearing?
Waste Management comes here every year, and so we have to get some fun party shirts. So it's like a mullet outfit. There's like business on the outside, party on the inside. So that's what you get. That's me in a nutshell, dude.
You wear flamingos, all right, dude. That's when you know you're getting old, when you're wearing flamingos on your clothes.
I wear flamingos. I like flamingos.
I feel young.
I think flamingos are very popular right now in golf clothes, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. All right, so we've been up and running for a while now, and we get all kinds of comments and questions, and we definitely always encourage you because we're going to read them all. So if you ever got a question for us, want to know a little bit more about what we're talking about, whatever platform right now that you're listening to this podcast on, definitely feel free. But this one came, and I'm not going to call him out by name, so we'll just call him Tom.
Okay.
Or Flamingo.
Flamingo Tom.
Flamingo Tom.
All right.
FT. All right. So, and I just, at first I read it. I'm like, okay, I don't really quite truly understand it. But then I really just kind of got like, dude, bro, we need to have a chat because you're thinking about this all wrong. So the question that we had, or the comment that we had on one of our previous shows, was simply this: entry-level investors will be kept on the sidelines because interest rates that compete with real 12% inflation. Okay, first of all, I don't think we've seen inflation at 12%.
Sure haven't.
Okay, but that's not the point. This is what we hear all the time. Interest rates are keeping me back. The threat of a recession is keeping me back. All we're doing is using excuses. The only thing that is keeping you back, if you can afford to buy a home, if you don't have any cash, or if you just filed for bankruptcy, that might be something that's keeping you back, okay? But outside of a financial situation or a job situation, you can't blame the external factors. The only thing that is keeping you back is the decision that you've made to stay back. Where am I wrong, Ryan?
Well, no, I think a lot of people see these obscure passages, or they hear something from somebody, and maybe they say it eloquently, or they sound smart or whatever, and that's all fun and good. If that's who you want to listen to, then great. I think at that point in time, you kind of need to ask yourself, how is that helping you? So if you are just a multi-millionaire in your own right, and all you've ever done is just worked a W-2 job and just save, then man, good on you. You're a better person than I am, because I don't know a company that would hire me as a W-2 and pay me millions and millions of dollars if I didn't have any financial sense to invest. Right. So, but if you are that person, hands down, would love to have you on the show. Right. I'd love to learn from you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to pretend to know everything. But as far as being sidelined goes, there's this really smart dude. I listened to him. His name was Jason Abrams, not Mike Weinstein. Sorry, bud.
And hey,
he had a really good point on one of his on one of his presentations, and he said, "Fire your coach." And he went down a number of different rabbit holes with it, and ultimately the metaphor was the coach is that person right between your two ears. That the moment that you do make a smart decision, or you make a decision that you perceive as risky, or something that's outside of the norm, outside of the status quo, or just something you've never done before, you're immediately going to have doubts. You're immediately going to start questioning yourself, and you're going to have reservations, and you're immediately going to start talking yourself out of making a good decision. Now, are all real estate investments good decisions? Hell no. There's plenty of bad ones out there. you do need to follow the numbers. You do need to make sure that you have a model. You do need to do all these things that we've been rattling on and on and on and on about in all of our episodes. And eventually you're going to listen to all of them. You're like, oh, tying this together, this makes some sense. But at the end of the day, you're the only person getting in your own way. And yeah, the riskier stuff, it can hurt you more, but you can also make more. You kind of need to just decide where you need to be on that. And I do recommend that you start off small. I started off small, unless you have a hell of a lot of money to burn and a hell of a lot of money to lose. But we even talked about it before. Like I see people, they're bitching and moaning about investing in real estate, whether they're novice or seasoned or wherever. And then they're, well, I can't do that right now. Interest rates or inflation and so on and so forth. And it's like, but then they'll roll up to Vegas and go drop $5,000. And it's like, dude, you have your chances of losing are way higher than mine.
Justin, is it people simply looking for excuses or listening to uneducated external voices or just being naive? This concept of to be able to say that interest rates are keeping me on the sideline, especially, and what he's talking about, and let's really just kind of jump into that. What he was specifically referring to was entry-level investors. And I mean, it's you make the decision. That's like I tell my kids, I'm tired of the news. I'm tired of all of these attorneys marching up on stage, these victims, and say, oh, this group of people, they were offended. Okay, so-and-so offended them, and so-and-so offended me. As far as I'm concerned, I have to make the choice. You can't offend me.
No.
You can say stuff.
And it's my opinion.
And it's your opinion. I have to make that conscious decision to be offended.
So I think it's a little bit of both. I think they're a little naive. Sorry, listeners. And I feel like they're listening to somebody. But the fact is, inflation's not 12%. It's not even close. The highest we were is 9.1 last July. And we're at 5% right now, inflation year over year. That's a massive number. And so where is he getting that information? I don't know. But it's sad that maybe you should have conversations with real estate individuals so that they can educate you on the market. You're going to learn something. It will help you, right? Inflation is coming down. I'm wondering if people feel like inflation is still rising right now. I'm wondering where they're getting this information from. And I get it. If you feel like inflation is still going up, I get where you're worried, where you're having anxiety, but we've almost dropped it in half.
Yeah.
And we have consumer price index coming out. Well, it just came out. I don't know what those numbers are because we're pre-recording. But it
12%.
should drop.
Yeah,
it's not going to be 12%.
Right there.
It's not going to be 12%.
Flamingo Joe.
Correct.
Or Flamingo Tom. Or yeah.
But I do feel like there's always somebody in your ear, right? And a lot of times it's an aunt, an uncle, a grandfather that hasn't purchased in forever.
All right, we'll end with this, Ryan, and I'll throw it to you. I've read this comment over and over and over, and I truly believe he means well, right? I think he truly does. But I'm looking at it right now, and people can't read it obviously who are watching this. It looks like a soundbite. Entry-level investors. What? I don't even know what that means.
Well,
like what? Like.
I mean, we may be victim to some AI bot that's out there that's just rattling stuff off.
What's up, chat? How you doing, man?
Yeah, right. Like that is a thing, but I mean, it gets it from other places because it's chatter from what other people say. So whether it's true or not, whether that is an actual submission, is kind of irrelevant because.
But the question I was going to ask you because no, that's okay. Is just because I always love your response. Because we get this all the time. Is it the right time to buy?
Absolutely.
It's always the right time to buy if you're buying Right.
Can I interrupt here?
Sure,
And I
go
feel
ahead
like
anyways.
entry level investors is perfect for you guys.
Well, thank you.
You guys always talk to people about, let's buy a primary now. You're going to stay in it for a year. You get that primary, the first primary, at 3% down. Your next primary is at 5% down minimum, or FHA 3.5%.
We like
down.
to call this Reconomics.
This is Reconomics, right? This is perfect for an entry level investor. It's low money down. You get primary interest rates. Your guys' way of viewing investments is incredible and the right way to go about it. They're not going to ask you to sell your current home and buy another one. They want you to rent that out because you have a primary interest rate.
Yeah, what Reconomics does, you're not buying, massive skyscrapers. You're not building that type of wealth off of that.
Well, maybe later on, right?
Right. Yeah. This is just the stepping stone of understanding the fundamentals of real estate investing. That's all that it is, because you can scale that thing 100,000 million times over, as fast or as slow as you want. But the idea is that you have a plan, you have a model, and then you have numbers to chase, you have data to follow. So that's what we see the real lack of. And so as far as entry-level investors, we're baking in an incubation period, because those first 2 years when you're living in there, you're establishing your homestead, you're establishing your residencies there, so that you can avoid other taxes if you were to sell it too fast, right? So you already have that incubation period in there. At the same time, the market is moving during those 2 years. You already know you're comfortable with the mortgage payment on it, because you knew that you could afford it up front, because you went through a full processing and underwriting, right? They've checked your DTI loan, so on and so forth, and you're comfortable there. Meanwhile, rental rates have risen, and chances are you're building equity as far as appreciation on the property as well. So it's like that piggy bank that you also get to enjoy at the same time, whereas like stocks and an actual piggy bank, all you get to do is just look at it.
I would sum up what in an elegant way of really what both of you are saying. If I had to define an entry level, and this could be its own episode, if I had to define, if you put me, my feet to the fire and said, all right, what is an entry level investor? I'll tell you what an entry level investor is: first time home buyer.
Yeah,
that's really what you're saying, because you're not really intending it to be a rental property, but you are now moving into a thing that is going to appreciate, help you make money, and help you build wealth. And so it doesn't matter what the other numbers are. Can you afford the payment? Do you like the home? And you don't even have to love the home. Can you just live in the home? And do you like money? You were going to say something, Justin, because I'm getting really quiet.
If you bought something,
I'm getting really quiet right now.
Yeah, you are. If you bought something as a primary home, and it's your investment, and inflation truly was 12%, well, doesn't that mean that your home's going to appreciate at 12%, at least?
I'm no math major, but just maybe.
Maybe. I mean, right. I doubt it, but it's going to appreciate.
We want to truly help you get on the path to building wealth through real estate, whether it's through our Reconomics program or just a free consultation, just learning how we view real estate. Would love that have that opportunity to chat with you. If you want to talk to one of us and one of our real estate wealth managers, all you got to do is text the word wealth to 623-AZ-RECON. Again, text the word wealth to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.